Hello and welcome to day 2 of our community Panchakarma, a 40-day journey into activating your vision, owning your fire, and transforming your life. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with all of you who have decided to take up this challenge to raise the bar, start living on purpose. Start, really doing the work to make your life what you want it to be and activate your purpose to start living on purpose so you can really see those dreams move out of the place of just, mental fantasy to pass the time and see it happening in your life, stepping into that reality. So really cool experience here, and we're doing this all through the wisdom of the Vedas with Ayurveda, the science of life. I am an Ayurvedic practitioner. I've been a practicing practitioner for over 7 years now, and I have about 10 years independent study prior to becoming a practitioner. I've used Ayurveda to heal my own life. And I'm just offering this up as a seva. It's something I just want to offer to the community here. I am more than just a reader, and I want to hold space for us all to connect with each other in a meaningful way, beyond just having fun, okay? We all know I can be really irreverent, so I'm not wanting to be taken like too seriously or anything. I do have a very playful side to my personality, but I also have this side too where I can dive deeper, and so it's just a way for me to connect with all of you on a deeper level. It's not going to stop any of my more kind of out there weird fun readings that I'm doing on this channel, and I will be bringing some more of those in this week. So got a lot of filming I'm going to be doing this week, yeah, it's kind of cool to show up here every day and just drop in and offer up a little something for the sake of Ayurveda, and integrating this path to healing in our lives on a day-to-day basis, making our self-care a priority, and actually starting to be mindful, more aware of how do I want to direct my energy, what do I want to nourish, what do I want to feed, what do I want to grow in my life, and being very aware of that investment, what an investment it is, how you choose to place your focus each and every day, and how we are able to show up better, how we're better able to serve others, how we're more effective in our lives when we can show up from a place of already, being full because we prioritized our self-care. Okay, so that's what this journey is all about. And if you are just stumbling across this and you're like, what is this chick talking about? I encourage you to check out the playlist, the 40-day Panchakarma, the Own Your Fire 40-day Panchakarma playlist that's here on the home channel, okay? Just scroll down and you will see all the videos there, and they give a real clear layout of what this is about. And yeah, I'm excited to do this with all of you. And I just decided today I wanted to pull a card. What I do each day will be a little different. Sometimes I'll give some kind of Ayurvedic self-care tip. I hope right now you are, getting in touch. That's what this first 10-day period is about. It's about getting in touch, dropping in with your body, noticing when you're doing your salt scrubs, where do you tend to hold tension in your body? Where are you needing release, unwinding? When you're feeling activated, where are those feelings landing in your body? When you're getting your exercise in, and I hope you do get some exercise in, make some room for a little movement each day of this Panchakarma. Even if it's just getting outside, going for a walk, or doing some sun salutations, getting a little time in on your yoga mat, or, hitting the gym, whatever you feel like any given day. I really encourage you to get your exercise in this week, even just 15 minutes a day. I think that's the piece I'm going to bring forward today. 15 minutes of movement a day, okay, until you break a sweat. Doesn't matter what you do. You can pick anything you like, even if it's just dancing around, you know, your living room to some of your favorite music. It all gets the lymph flowing, and that's our goal this week. We're really looking to get the lymphatic system moving. Now, all of these things that we're integrating, they will eventually become what can be a life practice, you know, just the way you live your life. But we're changing habits. We're restructuring the way we do things, the way we show up in our day, and giving ourselves the benefit of filling our cup first, you know, so we can step into our day from a place of fullness. And when you do that, it changes how your day unfolds. It shifts what opportunities you become aware of. And it's so valuable. It's so valuable. However, most of us kind of, you know, are on autopilot, and we run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and we have so many things to do, and we're trying to keep track of all of it in our head, and we feel overwhelmed, and we feel like we never have enough time, and so our energy gets really scattered, and then we're not so effective as we move through our lives. So this is really important this week where we're dropping in. It's like you initially kind of outlined your plan. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? You know, we talked about this in prepping for Panchakarma. So you likely have your morning routine and your evening routine kind of pinned down. You likely have an idea of, you know, the action steps you need to take on a daily basis to reach that goal you set for yourself, the vision you want to manifest by the end of this 40-day cycle. But as you go through this experience, as you drop in, you're going to bump up against different obstacles that are on the path to getting there. You're going to notice certain things about where you're at that you weren't aware of before, because quite frankly, you just weren't making the time to be aware of it. Okay. So, you may find that your initial plan starts to shift as you drop in this week. I'm already having a little bit of that going on with me. It's very interesting. You know, I'm realizing, how I have a lot of kind of trapped fire to release, and how that changes things. And that's not something I was really conscious of until I started placing this focus on it, you know. So I'm already starting to shift things too, and starting to realize, you know, probably what's going to be good for me is to have a little bit more discipline than I was even initially planning. And just as I said that, out comes the card for the day, okay? 7:55 on the clock. So this is all about listening to that guidance, that higher guidance that comes in, the spiritual guidance that lets you know the path that needs to be taken to activate swift change in your life, swift transformation. Because we can go about transformation in a long, drawn-out sort of way. You're welcome to do that, but I really want to encourage you in working with Panchakarma to think of this concept of straightening by fire. We always experience the most rewarding transformations in our life when we bump up against those places of resistance and we overcome them, okay? So transformation is not some smooth, easy process. I mean, we see that even with the case of a butterfly, what it goes through to become a butterfly. It's like you gotta go within, you gotta go through all the goop stage, you know, where everything is just kind of a big mess, and you're really getting a clear view of where it's at, and then you come together in a new form, and you finally get your wings and you're free to fly, okay? So it's the same within us, right? Everything that we see in nature is inherent in humankind as well. So, you know, it's good to be a little uncomfortable, and people don't like that, you know, people don't like this concept of having to be uncomfortable, but all your growth happens through, you know, a little discomfort. That's why they call it growing pains. To grow means that you're kind of challenging an old form, an old way of being. And so it requires you to dig a little deeper. It requires you maybe to face a fear. It requires you to kind of overcome some of your shadow habits, okay? And when I'm saying shadow habits, this doesn't have to be anything truly like menacing, okay? But even just like having kind of a little laziness, you know, a little laziness can be a shadow aspect that can really hold you back. So when we're looking at Panchakarma, we're looking at straightening by fire. And what is that fire quality that straightens? It's the discipline, it's the drive, it's the focus, okay? So right now we're dropping in, okay? And you're seeing how those initial plans that you made in your preparation for Panchakarma are measuring up to what you're finding to be your actual experience as you're beginning to drop into your body, as you're doing your salt scrubs, as you're starting to activate your morning routine and your bedtime routine, as you're doing your journaling and you're actually getting an objective view at what's really going on inside, what you're feeling mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and understanding maybe things from a different vantage point than when you were initially making your preparations. Maybe you're seeing where some things need to be tweaked. Maybe you're seeing where certain adjustments need to be made. And this is good, okay? That's what these 10 days are about. They're about exploring, dropping in, feeling it out. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's not about it being perfect. It's about you becoming aware. It's about becoming aware, because once you are aware, that's when you find the path ahead. We have this beta of spirit wolf, and wolf totem is the pathfinder. Wolf totem is about coming to that place of connection within yourself where the mind merges with the heart, okay? You build a bridge, you connect the two. We connect to our heart, our sense of purpose, our sense of passion, only when we're able to really drop into our bodies, because it's a very instinctual thing. Instinct is that beautiful place of marrying logic with intuition, okay? So there's very much this energy about drawing down the higher energy, but really rooting it in the physical. And that is how we manifest our vision. That is how we manifest our dreams in material reality as well. You're pulling in that energy, that initial inspiration from the ether, the air. You're drawing it down into the third eye. You're hatching that vision that you feed with your fire, your passion, your purpose, which is that pitta, that fire energy. And then you're bringing it on down into the realm of kapha, you know, the water, the earth. You're nurturing it. You're tending to it. You're doing the physical work to actually ground it in reality through the actions you're taking. And that's when you see manifestation, okay? So this is about finding the clearest route to get there. You can't just focus on one aspect. It's not just about you know, going with the flow as far as what you feel. Yes, this is important, but don't forget, you know, the mental discipline that's also required. The ability to logically know this is the most efficient way that I can do things, or this is what really is needing to be addressed. So despite the fact that that might not like feel like what I want to do, because it's going to require me to be a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to require me to change some unhealthy habits. It's going to require me to be accountable to show up and do this work. And maybe I don't really feel like doing that because I become a bit, you know, stuck in my patterns. And that's become sort of my comfort zone, but also a big limitation in my life. You know, it's so important to change up this energy, to shift this energy, and to, instead of seeing the mind and the heart, you know, as two separate things, see them really as two essential parts of the greater whole. You need both your mind and your heart. You need both your intellect and your feeling, you know, in order to really forge that path ahead. And that's, you know, that's all about working with that wolf medicine. It's the ability to come into that instinctual place within you where you allow your intellect, you know, to inform what your feelings are communicating to you and how that can set your best path forward. All right. So, this is definitely about finding your path ahead. And this is the work that we are doing this week. I love this because I never noticed this about this card before, but we see what we just talked about. It's really echoed in this Spirit Wolf card here. And there's this concept of a fetch, and a fetch is like, it's like a subtle body intermediary between you and spirit, or you and higher consciousness, that you can use to, you know, nourish spirit and also be nourished by spirit in terms of guidance and communication. You know, it sort of acts as an intermediary. This concept of fetch is coming up for me because my fetch I see as a wolf. So this is really coming through for me. And if you look at this energy up here, it really reminds me of like the Atman, like this higher consciousness. And we can form a direct link by activating, you know, our fetch, that we can give over our guidance that we're in need of. We can give over those questions we have. We can give over the things that are troubling us, and we can offer it up to the fetch and have the fetch take it up, you know, to the Atman. And then the fetch will retrieve from the Atman what's needed, you know, for moving through that situation, for finding the path through. So this is kind of an interesting piece to come forward. It's a bit working on more of the energy body, but I encourage you to do that this week. I encourage you to spend some time in meditation and see if you can come to this place where you can invite your fetch to come forward. You know, invite your fetch to come forward, and let it come forward however it wants to come forward for you. So you may see it as a wolf, you know, maybe wolf spirit really wants to come through for you, but you also may see it as a parrot, or you could see it as a sea turtle, or you can see it as anything really. Okay. So I encourage you to just open yourself up, you know, maybe with working with that breath work and that emotional release exercise that I shared yesterday on day 1's video. Maybe spend some time with that breath work, that Durga pranayama, and getting into your body, and then just invite your fetch to come forward for you and just see what happens. Form a relationship with this aspect of your energy body. Okay, we're going to play with this a bit. And from this point forward, you know, when you drop in with that Durga pranayama and you do this breath work and you get in touch with what you're feeling, you know, you can use that to feel where is the energy of your fetch in your body? Where do you kind of house this energy? It'll be interesting to see how it shows up for you. It's all going to communicate something to you. And then when you want to connect with your fetch, you can just take that prana right down to that area in your body and ask your fetch to come forward and give over to your fetch what you want it to, you know, deliver to your higher consciousness, and trust that your fetch is going to bring back to you what you need, that higher guidance, whether you view that as spirit, your Atman, higher consciousness, the universe. It's all the same trip. Okay. So I see that there is this need this week to really connect with your inner pathfinder, and also to engage your instincts as you're moving through this experience. Maybe you'll be particularly drawn to listen to a certain type of music, or maybe you'll feel the desire to explore a type of movement or exercise you've never worked with before, like Qigong, or maybe you'll want to take some kind of dance class, or maybe you feel called to work with a particular essential oil, anything like this. Listen to what comes forward, because that's the guidance of your fetch, communicating, you know, forming that link of communication between you and your higher consciousness, all right? 1933 on the clock when I said that. So 3s are all about helpful guides, you know? And I'm really seeing this as this need to connect with the fetch, to connect with that medicine, and allow it to come through for you to help guide you through this week. And pay attention to what you're feeling, but also be mindful of how to apply what comes through for you intuitively, and create the structure and the discipline around it. And you are going to see amazing things happen, because once we hit the next 10-day cycle, it's all about really moving forward with purpose and discipline on that path. All right, 2022 on the clock when I said that. Time to get in partnership with your fetch. I will see you tomorrow.